When we moved to Japan, we expected to fall in love with the food, the culture, and the incredible people. We never imagined that one of our favorite parts of everyday life would turn out to be the toilet. Welcome to Unretired in Japan, where we're documenting what life after early retirement really looks like. Let's go. When most people hear the words Japanese toilet, they usually picture a toilet covered in buttons that look more like a cockpit of an airplane than something you'd find in a bathroom. We thought the same thing before we moved here. The truth is, it's not some strange gadget or luxury reserved for fancy hotels. These toilets are simply part of everyday life in Japan. You'll find them in apartments, houses, shopping malls, restaurants, train stations, airports, office buildings, and even many public parks. Before long, you stop noticing them because they become your new normal. What most people call a Japanese toilet is really a modern toilet with an integrated bidet built right into it. That's different from the separate bidets you'll sometimes see in Europe, where you have to physically move from the toilet to another fixture. In Japan, everything happens in one place, making the whole experience simpler and much more convenient. While Japan didn't invent the bidet itself, it embraced the idea and kept improving it. Over the years, manufacturers have added heated seats, adjustable warm water washing, self-cleaning nozzles, automatic lids, automatic flushing, and a long list of thoughtful features that turn something as ordinary as using the bathroom into a surprisingly comfortable experience. We have to admit, the first time we sat down and looked at all those buttons, we were a little intimidated. We weren't worried about using the toilet, we were worried about accidentally launching it into orbit. Fortunately, they're much easier to use than they look, and once you understand what all those buttons do, it's hard to imagine going back. Let's take a closer look at the features that have made Japanese toilets famous around the world. At first glance, the control panel on a Japanese toilet can look a little overwhelming. There are buttons, icons, and sometimes even labels in Japanese. But once you know what they do, it's surprisingly straightforward. Let's start with the feature everyone talks about, the bidet. Most toilets have separate buttons for a rear wash and a front wash. Both use a gentle stream of warm water, and on most models, you can adjust both the water pressure and the position of the nozzle until it's comfortable. Next is the heated seat. We thought this sounded a little unnecessary until our first winter in Japan. Now, sitting down on a cold toilet seat feels like something from another era. Many toilets also include an air dryer, although not all of them. Some have automatic deodorizers that quietly remove odors while you're using the toilet. Others automatically raise the lid when you approach and flush when you're finished, so you hardly have to touch anything at all. One feature we didn't know about before moving here is that the nozzle cleans itself before and after every use. It's one of those little details that shows how much thought has gone into hygiene. Some public restrooms even have a sound feature that plays running water or other ambient sounds for privacy. It's a simple idea, but it's another example of how Japanese design often focuses on making everyday experiences a little more comfortable for everyone. Not every toilet has every one of these features. Some are fairly basic, while others feel like they belong in a luxury hotel. But once you understand the basic controls, you'll find that most Japanese toilets work in very similar ways. The first time you sit down, you might feel tempted to start pressing buttons just to see what happens. We strongly recommend resisting that urge, at least until you're ready. On most toilets, you'll see a rear button and a front or bidet button. Press the one that's appropriate, and after a brief pause, a small nozzle extends below you and sprays a gentle stream of warm water. It can be a little surprising the first time, but you get used to it very quickly. If the water pressure feels too strong or too gentle, don't worry. Most toilets let you adjust the pressure and move the nozzle forward or backward until it's comfortable. Our advice? Start with the lowest pressure and work your way up if needed. When you're finished, simply press the stop button. If your toilet has an air dryer, you can use that, although many people still use a little toilet paper to dry off. Either way works. One thing we've noticed is that newer toilets often include English labels or easier to understand icons, so even if you don't read Japanese, they're usually pretty easy to figure out. And if you do accidentally press the wrong button, don't panic. Almost everyone who's new to Japan has had at least one, well, I wasn't expecting that moment. The best part is what feels unfamiliar on day one quickly becomes something you miss whenever you travel somewhere without one. One of the things we've come to appreciate most about Japan is that the experience doesn't stop at home. In many countries, public restrooms are something you tolerate. In Japan, they're often surprisingly clean, well-maintained, and just as thoughtfully designed. You'll find modern toilets in train stations, department stores, restaurants, airports, and even many public parks. While you'll occasionally come across an older squat toilet, especially in older buildings, they're becoming less common, and most public restrooms have at least one Western-style toilet. There are a few things that might surprise first-time visitors. Many restrooms don't provide paper towels, so it's common for people to carry a small hand towel with them. Soap is usually available, but it's always a good idea to be prepared just in case. You'll also notice that many sinks turn on automatically, and it's common to find touch-free fixtures throughout the restroom. Some toilets flush automatically, while others have clearly marked buttons or sensors. The overall goal seems to be making the experience as clean and hygienic as possible while minimizing the number of things you have to touch. One thing to pay attention to is the signs. If there's one above the toilet or near the trash can, take a moment to read it or use your phone's translation app. Most are simple instructions like where to dispose of paper towels or reminders about what can and can't be flushed. A quick glance can often save you from an awkward mistake. After living here for a while, all of these little details stop feeling unusual and simply become part of everyday life. It's one more example of how Japan puts a surprising amount of thought into even the most ordinary routines. It may sound funny, but after living here in Japan, we completely understand why Japanese toilets have such a devoted following. They're practical, hygienic, thoughtfully designed, and they're a perfect example of how small improvements can make everyday life noticeably better. If you're planning a trip to Japan, don't be intimidated. Give one a try. There's a good chance you'll come home wishing you had one too. If you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like to follow along as we document what life after early retirement really looks like here in Japan, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, we'll continue relieving ourselves joyfully while unretired in Japan.